did you hear about today?
Are you videoing this as well? That's for anything?
Well done. Anything that counts as like rope, anything like that, needs to go into general rubbish, which is the red bag. Yeah.
Now we can sort it and it can be recycled into shampoo bottles. So, and they can be recycled again. So it means that this plastic actually gets carried on used, rather than going into landfill and just sitting in a big hole for ages. So it was really important to try and split it up if you can. So fishing rope, that can be plastic coated, but that will have to go in the red bag because that's got to go to landfill, and polystyrene. Yeah. But all the solid little bits of plastic can go in the black bag. That'll be lovely. Thank you. Right. Quite a few noodles here, you can see. You see these, small, can't point to them with this glove, the smaller bits, there you go. Kaya's just picked one up. That's the beginnings of most of our plastic product. Cable Bay in particular, and there are certain beaches around North Wales area that tend to collect these, quite a lot of these, because they come in with tides and then get stuck in the seaweed. So we've got literally just uncovered this, you know, what, an inch underneath, and now we've got, we're just seeing a whole heap of noodles. And then also these,
this is a fishing wire bead, so those will end up in the stomachs of fish and things, very similar to the noodles but a little bit easier to spot.
And then we've got earbud inserts as well, which are now, we're hoping, most manufacturers are going down the reverted back to the paper or cardboard insert instead, which is good news. Things are happening, things are changing, but it needs pressure from us to insist, to say, look, we'd rather have something that wasn't plastic.
Yep.
See how many?
And these are from commercial fishing nets, so if they've got big things caught in them, they'll cut them, and then the little discarded bits will end up in the sea and then washed up on the beach.
And then, as you can see, there's also just bits of plastic, bits of bigger items of plastic that have broken up. They haven't broken down, they've broken up and just have become more problematic. If there was a sort of a patch in the sea of loads of tiny little sort of noodle shaped and smaller items of plastic, they do look a bit like fish eggs to some animals, and that is obviously very interesting nutritionally for some animals, but actually it doesn't go through their system and it clogs them up. It is very problematic, and what within a minute we've been talking,
picked up a good handful.
In fact, instead of collecting Pokemons, we'll need to get the kids collecting nurdles. Still perfectly usable fishing float. If anyone wants to clean their ears out, we could reuse that one. This tiny, small space, a couple of feet across, you could work all day. Some of it's broken off bits, some of it's just the kind of tear off bits that you might get from opening a bottle or something, breaking up smaller and smaller.
is, which will end up in the stomachs of cormorants. It's quite a popular turnstone and oyster capture spot, and it's also actually just a popular dog walking spot, and I'd hate to think if one of those ended up in the paw of a dog or even the foot of a child in the summer.
It's a lobster tag which has come over from Maine up in the North Atlantic. We get quite a few of them over here, but it's a nice one that we found today actually, so it's quite clear.
Oh, lobster tag alert! Newfoundland and Labrador from Canada.
You take those plastic tags off the food trolleys, you shouldn't throw them straight into the sea.
What makes it go like that?
So this is my third favourite liquid through the ages.
Mixed stuff that's non-recyclable, and then we've got the rigid plastic stuff. So probably thousands of these today. Then, you know, as you can see, just lids after lids. Drinks bottles, things like that. There's quite a lot. You know, some of the bays around here had hundreds of them. Just like this one, sort of little bits of fishing line, and these plastics have different types of sort of problems. For marine life. So you've got, you know, obviously the sort of fishing stuff is quite dangerous for entanglement. So you get a lot, you know, sometimes you'll find creatures, you know, stuck in these. And you know, one of the first harbour porpoises I ever picked up through the Strandings network was tied up in netting like this, and then obviously some of these sort of smaller bits, as they get smaller and smaller, there's, you know, if they get eaten, they can sort of jam in the stomachs of the animals, and just as they break smaller and smaller, they eventually sort of reach into the food chain. So even planktonic creatures, microscopic creatures, eat tiny particles of plastic, and we really should be thinking of it as sort of a dangerous pollution, really, rather than a littering problem that's just a visible problem.
At what point stream now kilo?
Don't mean that.
Don't want it to see them.
It's floating around in that ocean, and 70% is actually on the floor bed.
So 15% on the beaches, on the coast.
Yeah.
50.
Right, so the total amount of litter and rubbish collected today is 522 kilos and 10 grams. Of which 8.8 was glass and beer cans. We then have 107.1 kilos of rigid plastics, and then 406.2 kilos of just litter.